Before I gave my life to Jesus Christ, I was a witch. Not the kind you see in movies, not costumes or fairy tales. I was trained, disciplined, and deeply involved in real spiritual operations that targeted destinies, families, finances, marriages, and especially Christians who were close to a breakthrough but didn't know it yet. I'm coming forward now because too many believers are confused. They love God, they pray, they fast, they sow seeds, and yet, right before something good is about to happen, everything starts to fall apart. Relationships collapse, money dries up, strange delays appear out of nowhere. And many Christians think it means God has left them. That is a lie. I am speaking today because I used to be on the other side of that battle. I know what happens in the spirit realm when a believer is approaching a major breakthrough. I know the strategies that are released against you. And I know why the warfare intensifies right before heaven answers your prayers. I didn't come to scare you. I came to expose what was hidden so you can finally fight with understanding. There were nights when my assignment was not to attack sinners. It was to watch Christians, especially the ones who were faithful but tired, obedient but discouraged, praying but frustrated. Those were the most dangerous ones to the kingdom of darkness. And those were the ones we were told to monitor closely. Because when a Christian is about to step into their God ordained breakthrough, the spirit realm knows before they do. If you've been feeling unusual pressure lately, if it feels like resistance has increased for no logical reason, if you're asking yourself why everything is harder now than before, this message is not an accident. I am here because the Holy Spirit would not let me stay silent. What I'm about to share will explain what you've been facing, why it feels so intense, and how to stand firm until the breakthrough manifests. In the occult world, we understood something many Christians are never taught. Breakthroughs release signals in the spirit realm. When a believer's obedience aligns with heaven's timing, it creates spiritual movement. That movement alerts the kingdom of darkness that something is shifting. And when that happens, the first response is not celebration, it is counterattack. I remember being taught that when a Christian begins to pray consistently after a long season of silence, that alone sends a warning signal. When someone starts fasting without announcing it, that signal becomes stronger. When a believer forgives someone they had every reason to hate, alarms go off in the spirit realm because forgiveness breaks legal access. And when legal access is threatened, retaliation follows. This is why the attack doesn't come at the beginning. It comes right before the breakthrough. The enemy doesn't waste resources on Christians who are already distracted, offended, or spiritually asleep. But when you start walking in alignment, when your prayers become focused, when your faith matures, you become a priority target. Many Christians misinterpret this season. They think, if God was with me, this wouldn't be happening. But from the other side, we saw it differently. Increased warfare meant increased danger for darkness. It meant the believer was closer than ever. And the assignment was always the same: delay them, discourage them, exhaust them, or divide them from others before they cross over. One of the most effective weapons used against Christians before breakthroughs is confusion. Not obvious confusion, but subtle mental pressure. Thoughts like, is this even worth it? Did God really say that? What if you heard him wrong? These thoughts are not random. They are strategically released to weaken your spiritual posture. Another weapon is sudden distraction. Opportunities that look harmless but pull your focus away from prayer. Business that feels productive but drains your spiritual sensitivity. Arguments that erupt out of nowhere with people you love. I participated in assignments where the goal was not to destroy a believer outright, but simply to slow them down long enough for the window of breakthrough to pass. Then there is emotional exhaustion. A believer will feel unusually tired, not physically, but spiritually. Prayer feels heavy. Worship feels dry. The word feels distant. This is not because God has withdrawn. It is because pressure is being applied to make you stop pushing. What most Christians don't realize is that the enemy doesn't need you to quit believing in God. He just needs you to quit pressing. Because persistence is what unlocks breakthroughs. There were meetings I attended where the goal was to study prayer patterns, not to stop prayer entirely, but to neutralize its effectiveness. We understood that prayers prayed in fear carry less authority than prayers prayed in faith. Prayers mixed with doubt lose momentum. Prayers prayed once and abandoned are easy to outlast. This is why so many Christians feel like their prayers are going nowhere. It's not that God is ignoring you. It's that resistance has increased because your prayer is dangerous. When a prayer threatens to dismantle a long-standing stronghold, it attracts opposition. I remember assignments where we were told, this one is close, increase pressure. And pressure often came through finances, health scares, or relational conflicts. The goal was always to make the believer shift focus from God's promise to their immediate pain. But here is what the enemy never tells you. If the attack is intense, the breakthrough is near. Darkness does not fight what is irrelevant. My exit from the occult began when I saw a Christian refuse to quit. Everything was against her. She lost her job. Her family mocked her faith. Her prayers seemed unanswered for years, and yet she kept worshiping. She kept praying. She kept trusting God without bitterness. From the spirit realm perspective, she should have broken, but she didn't. And when her breakthrough came, it came suddenly. Restoration, favor, provision, and peace followed her in ways we could not stop. That was the moment I realized the truth. Darkness can delay, but it cannot deny what God has ordained. That encounter haunted me because I realized that the authority Christians have is far greater than they are taught, and the enemy's greatest advantage is ignorance, not power. If you are in a season where everything feels heavy, this is not the time to retreat. This is the time to stand. Don't change your prayer routine because it feels hard. Don't stop fasting because resistance increased. Don't isolate yourself because pressure is loud. Breakthroughs are not accidental. They are contested. And the fact that you are still standing means heaven has already gone ahead of you. Stay aligned. Stay obedient. Stay humble. And most importantly, stay persistent. What I once fought against, I now testify about. The battle you're in is not a sign of defeat. It is evidence of proximity. You are closer than you think, and the enemy knows it. If this message resonates with your spirit, it is because God is preparing you to endure the final stretch. Do not give up now. The breakthrough is nearer than the battle wants you to believe.